Oh yeah, is it? What's today? Saturday already, as is it just the end of yet another Star Wars news week. Wow, we got a lot to talk about today, as San Diego Comic-Con has given us some new stories off of the Acolyte. The Acolyte getting prequel stories about Vernestra and Indara and Yord and Jekki. We're going to dive into all of it in this and how this affects a possible second season for that Acolyte show. Also, the gaming industry is seeing an actors strike, just like we saw in the shows and movie industry last summer, and how long that will last and how that affects us as Star Wars fans. We'll dive into all of it. How's everybody doing on this fine Saturday afternoon? What's up, chat? How are we doing on this fine Saturday afternoon? Let me open up the chat so we can see what you guys are talking about. And let's say hi to everybody. Jack Robbins, what is up? Fearless, how we doing? Chris in the house. Brandon Baker, what is up? Mando United, how we doing? Sambara Luna, what's up? John Frag, how we doing? Sure, my fault. Thomas, how we doing? Did I miss anybody? Shadow King, how we doing? Turtle Master, what is up? Kit Fisto in the house. Okay, if I missed you, you know the deal. Just yell at me. Tom, what's up? Galaxy Love, how we doing? Jordan, how we doing? Joseph, what is up? Okay, Ben, how we doing? Okay. Let's talk about this, shall we? There was really no big announcements from San Diego Comic-Con this weekend for Star Wars, that is. I believe tonight is still Marvel's panel, and I'm sure that's going to be a huge thing because Marvel's in a weird spot right now where they need a massive announcement. But for Star Wars, this is not really where we're going to see a lot of announcements, or at least so we thought. Now, where we think we're going to see all these announcements is in a few weeks at D23 on August 9th, 10th, and 11th, in just 2 weeks from today, actually, 2 weeks from today. In 2 weeks from today, we'll be getting announcements like crazy for upcoming Star Wars projects, maybe even a trailer for Skeleton Crew, probably another trailer for Star Wars Outlaws, and some other crazy announcements that we have no idea about yet. So that's coming in 2 weeks. For this weekend, San Diego Comic-Con, which is the biggest Comic-Con in the country, we didn't really expect to get much from Star Wars. However, there was a surprise, and a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one, as it just was confirmed yesterday that we will be getting 2 new Star Wars stories as prequels to The Acolyte. Now, these will be in novel form, but they will be prequel stories to The Acolyte show, 2 of them, not just 1, 2. Now, what does this mean to us? Well, first of all, it means we're getting new stories with characters like Indara, Vernestra, Jekki, and Yord. But it also means that they seem to, at least they, I mean Lucasfilm, they seem to be pretty high on this Acolyte show. They see it as a success from afar. Now, what does this mean for a second season of The Acolyte? Well, I think a second season of The Acolyte is 100% happening at this point. The fact that they're putting all their eggs in this basket is enormous. So for all of you who wanted an Acolyte season 2, this is huge news. They could have just released the Acolyte show, forgot about all those characters, never touched it again, and that would have just been, okay, whatever. So we probably would get over it eventually. However, this is no longer the case. Now we're getting prequel stories to this Acolyte show, and it's most likely, because they set it up in season 1, that we will be getting a second season as well. So, let's do this. 1 second. Let me end this poll about smashing a like, because if you haven't smashed a like, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. Smash a freaking like on this stream. But let's do this. Do you want a season 2 of The Acolyte? We're going to put this poll up, and we're going to leave it up for a while to see where everybody is at. Because I think this announcement of there being 2 prequel stories to the Acolyte show is pretty much confirming, all but confirming, that there is going to be a second season of this Acolyte, and this is not the last we've been seeing of these characters. Damn, that's good water. I literally just ran in the door right before the stream started, so I was like panicking, like trying to get up my articles and do all this stuff. So let's take a deep breath there, and let's catch up on some chat. Hang on. Shall we? Jordan says, give us your most high-pitched welcome to the people who love Star Wars when I hit that join button. Deal? Deal, Jordan. Jordan, when you join as a member, I will give you the most high-pitched welcome to the people who love Star Wars you have ever heard in your entire life. Or at least I'll try. The Saber Smith says, Acolyte is getting 2 books set before the Acolyte, which means no season 2. I actually think that means the exact opposite. I mean, that probably means we're going to hear a lot more stories about these characters. I mean, the 2 prequel novels clearly indicates that they have faith or have confidence in the stories of these characters. Vernestra is from the High Republic, but all these other characters, Indara, Jekki, Yord, Sol, qimir, Osha, May, all of them are brand new characters. And fans really fell in love with them, especially Osha, especially qimir, especially Sol. So getting more stories with those characters is a great idea. And not in a season 2 form, but I actually think that these 2 stories being greenlit is confirming that there will be a second season and there will be more story to come. Oh, Jordan Rennie. Hang on. Let me take a sip of water for this one. I got to prepare myself. You want the highest pitch? Hang on.
This is where the fun begins.
Okay. Jordan Rennie. Welcome to the people who love Star Wars! What? Welcome to the people who love Star Wars, Jordan. At the master level, I appreciate that quite a bit. I hope that was sufficient enough for you. High enough for you, I should say. I really don't know how I did that. I have no clue. Mr. Beckham just joined the stream. I can only imagine, like, somebody who just joined the stream as I was doing that, and it's like their first time ever clicking on this channel. And they're like, oh, my guy who loves Star Wars. Let me check that. What's going on with the Acolyte? Let me check that out. Click. It's just me going, That's great. That's great. I'm glad it was worth it, Jordan. I'm glad it was worth it. But let's not try to make me lose my voice in the first 5 minutes of a stream. Thank you very much. Jack Robbins says, I'm confused about this. I thought we were going to be getting a season 2 and 3 of The Acolyte. I still think we will. These stories don't really mean that we won't be getting those. But let's dive into this. What are we really talking about here today? So, the big news from Star Wars from San Diego Comic-Con 2024 is that... Wait, hang on. 1 second. Put that over there. Put this over there. And put that over... Okay. Is that The Acolyte receives 2 prequel novels that focus on fan favorite characters. The world of Star Wars, The Acolyte, is expanding thanks to new novels, 2 of which are focused on fan favorite characters at San Diego Comic-Con on Thursday. Lucasfilm announced several new stories unfolding on the pages of novels and comics, which we'll get to in a second. We're going to the Battle of Jakku and some other stuff too in the comics, including a novel about Vernestra Rwoh and a young adult novel, maybe? That's what that means? Maybe. About Jekki and Yord. Both stories set before the events of The Acolyte, obviously, because 3 of these 4 characters are dead, so it has to take place before. Coming from author Justina Ireland. Does she own the entire island? One of the 5 original architects of Star Wars, The High Republic. Oh, interesting. So this is one of the people who created the High Republic novels, too. Star Wars Acolyte Wayseekers, what it's going to be called, is set to arrive next year from Random House Worlds. What a name. The novel will explore Vernestra Rwoh's life about 20 years prior to the events of The Acolyte, a giant leap from when we last saw the teenage prodigy in Phase 3 of the High Republic storytelling. So this is sort of filling the gap, so to speak, in Vernestra Rwoh's story. And this might actually give us some more insight to a character named qimir. Ever heard of him? Qimir is, I think I can say this, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think the most loved character when it comes to that Acolyte show is qimir, and people want to see more of him. Plain and simple. I think, would you think I would be right when I'm saying that? I think I'd be right when I say that. Yeah. qimir is the most beloved character from that show, and people want to see more of him. And we kind of learned in the finale that he was once the former apprentice to Vernestra Rwoh, and people want to see what happened with that. And I'd love to see that in live action in a flashback, but if we have to settle for a book, I'm not going to be too happy about it, but I think I'll live. Lucas, what's up? Pam Hill, how we doing? So I think this story about Vernestra 20 years before the Acolyte might start explaining what happened with Qimir and Vernestra and how their falling out sort of happened. But I actually think they're going to wait till season 2 to give us a flashback sequence to actually show how it went down. I actually think the conflict between Vernestra and Qimir could be as cool maybe not as cool, but it could be close to the level as cool as Obi-Wan versus Anakin on Mustafar. I'm not saying the lightsaber duel will be as cool, but the conflict, if he truly was once her former Padawan, it would be a very similar story to what we see with Obi-Wan and Anakin in the prequel trilogy, as one apprentice turns to the dark side and the master has to kill the apprentice, leaving them for dead, thinking that they are dead, but turns out they weren't actually dead. And that's a very similar story that's going on with Vernestra and Qimir. And I want to see that. I want to see it now. Yeah. But let's keep reading, because that's only the first of 2 prequels that are happening for this Acolyte show. As for Yord and Jekki, Tess Grattan, is bringing the characters back to life, literally, in a new novel set in the years before the events of the Acolyte show. So Vernestra's story takes place 20 years before, and this is just in the years leading up to it. We learn in the Acolyte that Jekki and Yord have some sort of backstory together, as Jekki's like, Yord's gonna Yord, and then he's taking off his shirt, and it gets awkward. But the novel does not yet have a name, but it is set to publish in July of 2025. When was the first one? It just says set to arrive next year, and then this one says July of 2025. So I'm guessing this one will come out first, but I don't know. In addition to the 2 novels, there are a number of other announcements, including a Marvel one-shot comic featuring Kelnaka. Interesting. You can check out the full announcements here. Okay, we'll check this out in a second, but let's talk about season 2 of The Acolyte. At this time, there have been no news about a second season of this Acolyte show. Something series creator Leslie Headland recently spoke about on Entertainment Weekly. She said this: "Nothing." Headland replied when she was asked if she had heard anything about more of the Acolyte. She even used both hands to make a big 0 to emphasize her answer. "We have to take a break," she continued, "especially after something like this. I don't even know how many years my brain has been going. Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Acolyte, 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 just constantly solving problems, constantly thinking about it. It is very weird to now be in a place where I don't need to do that. I always say to budding writers, the most important thing you can do is sit around and do nothing. Because the second you start to manufacture a story, you're going to be stressed out, and the story can't start that way. My brain is still doing it," she added with a laugh. "I'm almost like, if you're running, you can't just stop, you can't just shut off." So she's just like kind of still coming off of season 1. That's kind of what she's saying here. And we don't want to rush a story for season 2. I think she has probably ideas for season 2 and a season 3 and a season 4, as she mentioned before. But you want it to be good, and you want it to sort of be to the level that season 1 was, or even better for that matter. And you want them to take their time. Us as Star Wars fans are really living it up nice. We're not at a lack of Star Wars content by any means. We got Skeleton Crew to end this year. We got Star Wars Outlaws to end this year. We got the Rebuild the Galaxy stuff with the Lego, whatever. But then next year you got Andor Season 2, Ahsoka Season 2. Then you're talking about movies, Mando and Grogu movie, the Rey movie, Dawn of the Jedi movie. And then you're going to talk about a brand new animated show being announced. There's no lack of content coming our way. So we're not really we need Acolyte Season 2 now. Yes, it would be nice. I want to see more of those characters and their story playing out, especially with Qimir, Darth Plagueis, and Yoda. But I don't think we're in any rush right now. And I believe that's the end of this. What is the Acolyte about? I think we already learned that one. So let's look at this other list of announcements here. Aha. StarWars.com. So San Diego Comic-Con 2024, the Acolyte Publishing Program, and other reveals at the Lucasfilm panel. Here we go. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blue, blue, blah. So this is not the official cover, but it's just Indara and there. Okay, so number one is this is the Way Seeker. Hilarious. That's that book. The Jekki and Yord book is number 2. Then you got this comic. Whoa, how did I do that? You got a comic coming in February, another comic there, another comic there. Star Wars Outlaws, interesting. Star Wars Outlaws, which we'll talk about in a little bit. A new visual guide has been released. That's cool. Vernestra action figure, Black Series figure. Nice. This is when it gets pretty good. This is what I'm looking forward to most when it comes to Star Wars comics, and that's this new run of the post-original trilogy era. The Battle of Jakku is where we're starting here with this Insurgents Rising story. You're getting Luke, Leia, and Han in action after the events of Return of the Jedi, all together in this Battle of Jakku, which is going to be awesome. You get some prequel trilogy stuff, a prequel trilogy graphic novel, and then more High Republic stuff. Oh, encyclopedia. This is going to be pretty cool. This comes out this year on November 5th. An entire encyclopedia of the Star Wars galaxy. I mean, can only imagine how many pages that is. Another Yoda High Republic thing, and then that's it. So from San Diego Comic-Con, I think Lucasfilm really took the comic to heart, and they announced a shit ton of comics. And that's pretty much it, just novels and comics. I think they're saving all their shows and movies for, again, 2 weeks from now when we get D23 on August 9th, 10th, and 11th. And that's when we'll get a shit ton of announcements. I mean, animated shows, probably a trailer for Skeleton Crew, another trailer for Star Wars Outlaws, probably another trailer for Rebuild the Galaxy, and maybe, just maybe, a tease at Andor Season 2, which would be absolutely wild. Maybe even bring Cassian, Diego Luna out on stage or something like that. I could definitely see something big happening for Andor Season 2 at D23 that like nobody would expect. I think they'll focus probably mostly on Outlaws and Skeleton Crew, but Andor's probably going to be a big pull there too as well. But with that being said, first of all, are you excited? Are you going to pick up these 2 prequel novels when they come out, or are you just going to wait and probably just catch a recap of a video I'll probably make about a recap of the book? Navarro, what's up? How we doing? Wrong button.
Hello there.
There we go. That's what I meant to press. We actually did, speaking of this celebratory thing, it just said Order 66 because we hit 66 subscribers last Tuesday, but we just hit 68 the other day, and we are very, very close to 69,000. Yeah, you heard that right. 69,000 subscribers. We're very, very close. Hopefully we can hit it by the end of the day. Today. Let's just keep an eye out on that if we can during this live stream. Let's see how close we are, actually. Let's see what our exact number is. Oh, we won't hit it during this live stream. Never mind. We're at 68,733. So smash that freaking subscribe button if you haven't already. Okay. Trent, what is up? What is up? Robert says, oh, wait, what the hell? Just scroll down to the bottom. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay. Stands to reason that Soul will more than likely appear or be mentioned in both stories, right? He'll definitely appear in the Jekki and Yord story, as he is still the master to Jekki, but will he appear in the Vernestra story? Maybe as like a lot younger character. I mean, so will Indara. Yeah, he could definitely show up in both stories for sure. That's good news. It's great news. It's great news that they are actually sticking to their guns here and telling more stories about these great characters that they established. Here's the deal. I want to go to the Old Republic so badly, and I'm sure many of you would agree with me when I say that. The Old Republic is an untapped gold mine that they're just sitting on top of, and I can't wait to the day when they actually do tap into that gold mine. But this High Republic era, although it's pretty much only in novel and comic form right now, is another untapped gold mine, maybe like a silver mine, because I think the Old Republic is a lot better. It's a silver mine of great characters that we're now getting to see in live action as well, like Vernestra, and we're getting new characters as well that are awesome. This is the thing that you can do when you leave the Skywalker saga. Yes, coming back to legacy characters is fantastic. I love a good Anakin return, Ahsoka return, Luke Skywalker return. It's fantastic. It's amazing. It's feel good. It's cool. But when you establish a new character that's as cool, if not cooler, than already established characters like qimir. Now we're talking. Because you can go to a new era in Star Wars and do really cool new stuff with new ships, new droids, new force abilities, new lightsabers. And qimir did all of that, from a Cortosis mask to a sick lightsaber that literally split in half. It was just awesome. So the thing that they're going to pull the most off of, the fact that the Acolyte show, maybe it wasn't the biggest success that they wanted it to be, the biggest thing out of that we can take as the Star Wars fans is that they did something, established new great characters in a time period that isn't the Skywalker saga without having to rely on legacy characters. Yes, Yoda shows up in the final scene. Yes, Plagueis is in the finale as well. But those two appearances didn't carry an 8-episode show. They just didn't. They didn't need to rely on that, which is the greatest news when it comes to the Acolyte show. Indeed. Light Lord Master Ragnar says, when logic meets reason, this is why this channel is good. Thank you. Yeah, I guess we all just need a little bit of logic and reason in our lives, don't we? Yeah. Because there's a lot of just lying going on in the Star Wars fandom. That's what really pisses me off. I would love to get in screaming matches all the time online with just people who are dumb, but they're stupid and they're dumb and they're dumb and they're stupid and they're stupid and they're dumb. But it's just a waste of my time because they're being lied to and they're just believing lies. And I just don't want to deal with that. So I just don't, you know? We might be going a little bit off the rails today. I'm all over the place. If history serves, when they announce books, there won't be a second season. I've been a fan long enough to know. I actually, I know what you're saying. Like usually when they announce a book that's a sequel to something, then yes, usually there's not a second season. But this is almost the exact opposite here. This is going back in time to tell stories more about these characters. Yes, Jekki and Yord are already dead. Yes, Indara is already dead. Yes, Soul is already dead. But now you're getting prequel stories of those characters. And you best believe that Vernestra story is going to establish more story about her and qimir and their history together to set up a second season. So I think this is actually the exact opposite. I understand what you're saying. Usually when a show comes out and it's not that good, they just turn it into a book for a season 2 or a sequel. But that's not what's going on here. This is to establish more of the characters in a prequel, not a sequel. So I actually think this means that we will more likely be getting a second season than less likely. Indeed. John Frag says, what about Ram Kota show during the Clone Wars? Ram Kota, why is that not ringing any bells? Hang on. Kota, Star Wars? Ah. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Wait, what the hell? You said the Clone Wars? I don't think... Yeah, he's not in the Clone Wars, though. Yeah, that's why I was extremely confused. I'd be down for that, but I mean... I don't know. Have you heard this big buzz going around online of the live-action Clone Wars series? Have you heard that? Give me a 1 into the chat if you want a live-action Clone Wars show or movie, for that matter. Give me a 1 into the chat if you want a Clone Wars live-action show. Just a remake of the Clone Wars. Or give me a 2 if you're like, nah, I don't want that. Let's see it. What do we think? Where are we at with this, chat? Interesting. This is actually hilarious. It go 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1. That 2 1 2. Wait. Are you guys seeing the chat right now? Are you guys messing with me? What the hell? Are you guys seeing this? This is exactly 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Oh, Darth Thor ruined it. Darth Thor ruined it. That was crazy. It's literally like you guys just went. You were all locked in together on the same brain wave, where you just went 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 until Darth Thor ruined it. That was pretty crazy. But that's how split we are on that. I say no, absolutely not. We already have the Clone Wars, and it's in animation, but that's perfectly fine. There's so much great stories to go tell elsewhere that we don't need to go retell the Clone Wars in live action. Yes, it was cool to see the Clone Wars in live action in Ahsoka, but that was for story purposes. That wasn't just to go, oh, cool, let's go retell this story that's already been told. That was to establish that Ahsoka Tano has lived her entire young adult life in a war. She was raised in a war, and she's trying to move past that. So, although stuff like that's really cool, and maybe we'll get another flashback to the Clone Wars in live action at some point for another story purpose, but to go retell the same story over again, just to make it into live action, I think it's not a good idea. But hey, we'll see if they do it. I seriously don't think they will, but we'll see if they do it. Yeah. Tom says, yes, I want a season 2. I thought season 1 was terrible at first, but it improved drastically, and now I want a season 2. Well, Tom, that's good on you for having an open mind. That's good on you. I think the big problem with the Acolyte show is the fact that a lot of fans came in with not an open mind. I always harp back to the Rotten Tomatoes audience score, having a 13% before the episodes even dropped. So before seeing a single second of this show, fans have already made up their minds. So, yeah, good on you. Good on ya. And Mando, you know what we spoke about? I don't know what that means. Yes, season 2, please. I agree. We need a second season for the Acolyte. I agree with that. Guardians of the Galaxy Marvel movie will be a great source of inspiration for Skeleton Crew. That would be cool. If it was anything like Guardians of the Galaxy, I would be 100% down for that. I think the Skeleton Crew is going to be a big surprise to a lot of people. I don't think it's going to be what we expect it to be. And I don't know if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. But only time will tell with that show. For real. Yeah. Chris says, I agree with you, Mike. Getting more of an updated story about Vernestra Rwoh in a prequel format shows that they have faith in this show and a second season. I absolutely agree. They have faith in these characters. They have faith in growing this era of the Star Wars universe, and it only establishes more content in that era. It makes me believe that there's definitely going to be a second season, because this is not the last time we're going to be seeing these characters. Yeah. I want a backstory on Qimir and Soul. Well, I'm sure, like somebody else mentioned earlier, Soul's probably going to make an appearance in both of these books, being the master of Jekki and being around the Jedi Council during the time of 20 years before. Qimir is a little bit of a different story. We don't know when him and Vernestra split up. We don't know when that happens. So it could be that he's mentioned in the Vernestra story, or it could be that he's actually in the Vernestra story and we get to see their falling out. Could go either way. Indeed. Indeed. I saw somebody mention Deadpool and Wolverine. If you have seen Deadpool and Wolverine, do not spoil anything in the chat. I want to keep spoiler free for anybody who hasn't seen it yet for at least the weekend. I did see it yesterday, though, and I can attest that it is a freaking masterpiece. That movie is so awesome. So if you have not seen it yet and you have the chance to go see it, go see it. It's awesome, and that's all I'm going to say about it. No spoilers at all. No spoilers at all. It's so good that I'm going to see it again tomorrow. So go see it if you have not seen it already. Yeah. Yeah. Anna says, hello there. I do want a season 2 of The Acolyte, or maybe a good idea with the prequels. Have a nice day. Well, I appreciate that, Anna. I really do. Vernestra says, sorry, my fault. Vernestra isn't interesting to me at all, really. Vernestra wasn't a main character in the Acolyte show, but she definitely was an interesting one, being that she was the former master to Qimir and all of her Force abilities, not being able to fly through hyperspace because she gets Force visions. Of course, the Force whip we want to see in action more. 100%. Yeah. What happened to Yord's Padawan? That's actually a great question, Darth Jew. What happened to Yord's Padawan? You're talking about the Zygarian the Zygerian Jedi at the beginning of episode 1, I believe. Yeah, episode 1. I don't know. She just wasn't involved in the rest of the story, I guess. Maybe we'll get more of her in the book. Indeed. The Speculationer, love the name, again, as always. Did you hear that the animators might go on strike if they can't get a deal done by August 1st? No, I did not, and that is not good news. How many more strikes can we go on, people? I get it. Strikes are good for the actors and good for the working folk, because it's all about AI, it's all about streaming rights, it's all about this stuff, and I fully support all of them. But for me, this means delays, and I don't want delays. So can't we all just be friends? Can't we all just get along? So hopefully no. Hopefully no animators go on strike, and hopefully we get no backlash from... hang on, I dropped my pen. Wait a second. Got it. Hopefully there's no backlash from any of that. Hopefully we don't need to get any delays for any Star Wars animation projects. Hopefully a Tales of the Jedi Season 2 is on the way. Hopefully a new animated show, possibly Clone Rebellion, possibly Hidden Path, possibly Luke Skywalker's Jedi Temple show is on the way. But yeah, hopefully there's no more strikes. We'll get into the gaming strikes in a second, but let's stick on this Acolyte for a hot second. The Sabersmith says, if anything, we will be getting more stories in comic books and not in live action. Well, we'll definitely be getting more stories in comic books and in novels, but I think you're going to be getting live action ones as well. I think this is what the High Republic should have been from the start. Not just novels and comics, but a High Republic show as well. I don't know if that's the route that they're going to go down now. I think the Acolyte is that show, but we'll see. We shall see. She loves fantasy. Oh my God, that's a genius, absolutely genius username. She loves fantasy, but it's spelt funny, so you got to look in the chat to see it. But with a very generous $5 holla, god damn, says, exciting news. Can't wait to see more of these amazing characters. Could not agree with you more, and I appreciate the $5 holla. Super chats, memberships, all that stuff is the best way to support the channel. We have a giveaway actually coming on Tuesday. This coming Tuesday, it's the last stream of the month, and every last stream of the month we do a giveaway for all the members. So if you're a member, you get instant access to that giveaway. And yeah, we might actually be doing some giveaways of Star Wars Outlaws this month too, because we talked about it last stream, how giving away Star Wars Outlaws at the end of next month would be a great idea, but we could do some pre-orders of Star Wars Outlaws at the end of this month as well, because it is an expensive game, and I fully understand. So maybe we'll do some giveaways for that. But I appreciate it. Oh yeah, and if you're not yet in the Discord, there's a link in the description below to a Discord called The People Who Love Star Wars, so go join it now! Thanks. Okay, I appreciate it. Where was I? Chris says, you got to read the High Republic books. Vernestra Rwoh is a very interesting and important character in that story. Chris, you know, I read the first phase, like I've said a million times. I've read the first phase, and it's good. It is good. I'll give you that. It is good. It did draw me in. It did make me want more. But the time I read the first phase, there wasn't more. Phase 2 hadn't even started. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll wait. And then by the time I was like, maybe I should go back to that, it was already over. Not that I couldn't go back and read it now, and I want to. I definitely do. I just can't really find the time. Yeah, no? Yeah, no? Phase 2 is even better. I believe you. I do totally believe you that Phase 2 is even better. My thing with Phase 2 is that it goes back even further, and now it's a bunch of new characters again. And I feel like I just learned all those other characters from Phase 1, and now I gotta go relearn more characters? Not to say that's a bad thing, but, you know. We need more Daphne Keene in Star Wars. Absolutely we do. Sadly, her character is, you know, gone. But I guess that didn't happen to her. She was more like, you know. But, yeah, prequel stuff with her. Maybe flashbacks in Season 2, you know. Anything to bring back Daphne Keene. Hal Runner Base, what's up? Says, oh my God, Mike, did you see the Black Series Vernestra and Basil that were revealed at San Diego Comic-Con? There was a Basil? I did not see the basil. We did look at the Vernestra though. Yeah. Oh my God, Darth Drafter with a very insanely generous $10 holla. God damn. Says hello there. Do more with your chat. God damn it. Look at me. Look at me in the eyes, okay? Let's take a second to... Let's all take a second. Everybody in the chat, look at Darth Drafter, okay? You send me $10. You send me $10. You know how much I appreciate that? So much! You know the only words you said were hello there? Have you lost your goddamn mind? Have you lost your goddamn mind? I think this is the first time I've ever gotten this close to the camera on a live stream. So... What's up, chat? How we doing today? Yeah. Are we good today? Are we good today? I have to like turn my head fully like all the way around to see the chat now. Like, what are we saying, chat? Is this a good angle? Is this a good angle? Is this a good angle? Do we like this? Should I stay here for the rest of the stream? Give me a 1 into the chat if I should stay here for the rest of the stream. Yeah. My big ass forehead right here. You guys like this view? You like the view? Commander Fox says, what's up, man? Love the content. Well, I certainly hope you do. Look at me. Look at me here. Look at me here. It's a good angle, Mike. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, that's too bright. The lights are too bright in my eyes all the way up there. Okay. I appreciate it, Darth Drafter, but say more next time. Damn it. I love yelling at people who send me money. It really brightens my day. Okay, so this was a look at the Vernestra Row Black Series, but I got to look at this basil. You're telling me there's a basil? You're telling me that there's a basil. If this is a lie, Hal Runner, I'm going to lose it. Oh my God, there's a basil. Holy shit. There's a basil. Sound the alarms. Sound the alarms. Okay, where do I... Here it is. Oh, look at him. Look at him in all of his fine glory. Look at this. Vernestra, like, what is this? This is supposed to be your light whip? What the fuck? No, this is peak. This is why we do this, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. More. Yes, more. This is it. This is it. I could stare at it all day. It looks so nice. Oh my God, he's even got Pip. Oh, look at him. He's lost Pip. This is a crazy tale. He's got his nice shades on. Pip. Oh, wait, Pip's gone. Oh, he knows where Pip is because he's a freaking tracker. I found Pip. Oh my God, look at this story. This is like, might be better than Deadpool Wolverine, honestly. Check out my cool shades. I'm Basil. Check me out. Oh my God, Pip. What's up, Pip? How we doing? Oh my God, I've lost Pip. I have lost Pip. That's okay. I'm a tracker. Let me go find Pip. Pip! We did it! All right, I think I'm getting a little bit too off topic here. Oh, Cassian and Andor too. Ooh. Cassian. Why is he doing a split here? What's going on, Cassian? Trying to join the USA Gymnastics team? Ooh, even a little Dedra going on here? What the hell's on her? There's nothing on this. What the? Ahsoka wait, what the hell? Ooh, that looks nice. The white blades. So if you guys wanted updates from San Diego Comic-Con, here they are. As we're losing everybody in the chat. You know, sometimes we get a little bit goofy over here, but this is a Mandalorian Stormtrooper from the Mando Season 3. This design is awesome. Season 3 of The Mandalorian gets a lot of crap. It doesn't get enough credit for the good stuff that it does. Like, this design is so cool. Oh my God, Babu Frick. Oh, wait, no, it's not. It's probably just the Anzellan from Season 3 too. But it looks like Babu. Oh, there's two of them. Oh, you even got Grogu with the IG-11 that he can go inside? Damn. Take my money already. Take my goddamn money already. Wait, what? Does this mean these ones are on the way too? Holy shit. Damn. Okay. Thanks for the distraction, whoever sent that. Oh my God. Jordan with another generous $10 of some random ass currency that I don't know what it is says, hello there. You know what? Oh, and he says stay there too. Okay, just for you, Jordan. I'll go back. Thanks, Jordan. We'll spend a little bit here too because that's very generous. But now I got to turn my head fully to the side so you get a nice side profile over here. We need a book of Basil, 100%. The speculationer says, did you hear that the animators might go on strike? Didn't I already read that? Black Series Basil, take my money now. Absolutely. Carson Dickey says, just joined. What are the % chances do you think that we will be getting a second season of The Acolyte? Honestly, very high. Very, very high. Absolutely. Yeah, I know it's the English pound. I was just messing with you. Okay? Okay? I know you got some fancy old currency over there. It doesn't make any sense to me. But, you know, whatever works. But, Carson, my % chances of there being an Acolyte Season 2, I would say low 90s. Low 90s. I'm that confident. Like, I'm in the 90s on a % chance that we will be getting to see a second season of this Acolyte show. I really don't see a world where we don't get it. I just don't. I don't think Lucasfilm is just going to keel over and die and say, no, we're not going to make this because some fan said, this retconned the prequel trilogy when it didn't. Like, Lucasfilm is smarter than that. Yeah, no? Jedi Geek says, I'm glad that they are confirming that Qimir Sith Master is Plagueis. That is true. So let's talk about that. Leslie Headland did confirm that Chimir's Master is Darth Plagueis. Now, you could be thinking one of two things. One, Mike, you're a freaking idiot. We all knew that he was his master. What, are you stupid or something? And deservingly so. But you could also be thinking, good. Just glad they cleared it up. And that's the good news. She cleared it up. It was a little bit weird. Plagueis was just standing in the cave looking off in the distance. It could have gone a few different ways. But yeah, like we assumed, Chimir's master is Plagueis. And now Qimir is the apprentice. And now Osha is the Acolyte. Yeah. Brandon says, are video games like KOTOR Remake, Eclipse, and the final Jedi game also affected by the writer's strike? It's not a writer's strike. It's an actor's strike, but it's an actor's strike in the video game world. So it's like the voice actors and stuff. But we will read the article about that in just a minute. But are those games affected? Most likely, yes. The Jedi 3, the sequel to Jedi Survivor, is definitely going to be affected. 100% yes. Depends on how long the strikes go on for, but it will be affected in some sort of way. Yeah. Indeed. Hal Runner Base says, a Basil audiobook of himself just making Basil noises. You know, not only would I listen to that like 100 times, I would listen to that every night when I go to sleep. I listen to that when I work out. I listen to that when I am eating breakfast. I listen to that when I'm live streaming. It would be in one ear. Well, just just anything else would be in my other ear. That would be the greatest noise of all time. Yeah. The Saber Smith says, the rumor is that Lucasfilm will take an extended break after Skeleton Crew, Ahsoka Season 2, and Andor Season 2. I believe that rumor came from the most recent investors call. I have heard that rumor, that there will be a break, so to speak. And that is because of the return to the movie theater. I don't think this is actually going to be the truth at all, as they will most likely announce some new shows at some point in the near future. I understand why this is a rumor, because Andor Season 2 is the final season of Andor. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Ahsoka Season 2 is most likely going to lead to Ahsoka and the other Rebels crew being introduced into the Mando movies. Din and Grogu are now in the movie theaters. Kenobi's over. Boba Fett's probably going to be in the movie theaters too. So you have all these characters that were in their own shows, and those shows have either ended or they're now moving on to bigger and better things in the movie theaters. So I can see where the rumor comes from that there will be a break in Disney Plus television because all those characters have either gone to the movie theaters or their stories have come to an end. But I don't think it's true. And here's why. First of all, nobody expected there to be an Andor show, or a Skeleton Crew show, or an Acolyte show, or even an Ahsoka show and a Mandalorian show. So I think this is just people thinking, oh, what could even be the next show? Obviously, there's going to be one. We just don't know what it is yet. And maybe it's revolved around the Dawn of the Jedi movie, or maybe it's revolved around this Mandoverse still, or maybe it's even after the sequel trilogy, or maybe it's Kenobi Season 2, or maybe it's an Acolyte Season 2, or maybe it's an Old Republic show. Who knows? But they can announce it at any moment, and it'll be this massive surprise. Nobody was expecting The Mandalorian. Nobody was expecting The Acolyte. And definitely nobody was expecting Skeleton Crew. So they could really surprise us with anything. I think the rumor of that is only coming from people just logically looking at the slate and going, this show is ending. Those characters are moving to the movie theaters. So I think it's just a logical approach, you know? Yeah, I know. Joseph says, no, just a season 2, which isn't happening right now. If the comic book sells well and the novels sell well, then season 2 is a possibility. If the comics sell badly, then definitely no season 2. There was never a season 3. I don't think the sales of these books or comics have anything to do with the fact that they're going to be making a second season. It's more so the fact that they're actually just creating these stories in the first place. Yeah, I don't think this has anything to do with them making it or not. The sales, at least. Yeah. Any Star Wars I can get my hands on is a treat. I agree with that. Iger is not going to allow Star Wars to bleed money anymore. He has said time and time again, it's not bleeding money. Oh, sorry, I'm not bleeding money. Yes, Bob Iger, who's the CEO of Disney, has done a lot of cutbacks, cutting jobs, cutting projects all over the place. And that's to save money because Disney, over the past couple of years, has not really been making money off of much. Even in the movie theaters, they're not really making much money, as a lot of their recent films, animation and live action, have not performed well in the movie theaters. Then you have Disney Plus, which isn't even profitable yet. So they need to change things pretty drastically. So far, Star Wars hasn't really been affected by that at all. I mean, maybe it has in the background, but we haven't really gotten any noticeable differences or changes in the Star Wars universe, except for Dave Filoni getting a promotion, which is only good news. Marvel, on the other hand, has had some drastic changes, canceling shows, pushing back movies, all this stuff to try and fix what's going on. Pixar and stuff I can't really talk to because I don't really know much about it, but there are setbacks, delays, cancellations going on at Disney. There absolutely are, because the company's in a weird spot. But so far, on the Star Wars front, hasn't really been affected much. Yeah. I saw a crazy stat today or yesterday that said this weekend, because of Deadpool and Wolverine, the Marvel Cinematic Universe will be the first franchise to pass $30 billion with a B dollars in the box office. It'll be the first ever franchise. And maybe it was second, maybe it was third, I don't know, but Star Wars was on that list somewhere. And it was at $11 billion. Less than a third. Or sorry, almost less than a third. Then you look at the numbers. You look at the actual numbers. Star Wars has 11 movies. $11 billion or close to $11 billion is pretty damn good. That's about $1 billion per movie. Marvel is at 34 movies. Deadpool and Wolverine marks its 34th movie. So it's, again, about $1 billion per movie. So they're kind of on the same track. It's just Marvel has a lot more content when it comes to the movie theater. Yeah. Jordan says, do you think that The Acolyte Season 2 will be announced at Star Wars Celebration panel in April 2025? Yes. If I were to guess when that would be announced, I would say it's in Japan at Star Wars Celebration next year. There's going to be a lot of announcements in 2 weeks, like I mentioned a million times by now, at D23. But those announcements will most likely just be all about Andor Season 2, Skeleton Crew, Star Wars Outlaws. Maybe they'll announce an animated show. Maybe they'll talk about Tales of the Jedi Season 2. But they're not going to talk about Acolyte. They're not going to talk about Ahsoka, probably not. Those things are so far, they're not far enough along. They're too far away for them to talk about any updates that they have on them. So you're going to get mostly Andor, Skeleton Crew, Outlaws stuff. Maybe an animated show. At Star Wars Celebration, on the other hand, which is in April of 2025, that's when you'll get Ahsoka Season 2 news. Probably an announcement for Acolyte Season 2, and maybe even a new live-action show announced as well, which would be awesome. Yeah. Kay says, I don't think they are taking a break as much as refocusing on films instead of streaming. Yeah. I think streaming numbers, or streaming shows, I should say, are going to go down when movies come back. So in 2026, which is 2 years away now, we have 2 movies set to release, a Mandalorian and Grogu movie and probably the Rey movie, if we were to guess. Probably the Rey movie. But 2 Star Wars movies in 1 year. Over the last couple years, we've been getting only Star Wars shows on Disney+. And if you look at last year and this year we have Skeleton Crew, Acolyte, Bad Batch Season 3. Is that it? 3 shows. 2 live action, 1 animation. Oh, Tales of the Empire. 2 live action, 2 animation. Last year, you had Ahsoka, Mando Season 3, Bad Batch Season 2. And that was it, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was it. 2 live action, 1 animation. So you're going off of 3 or 4 shows a year to now you have 2 movies in 2026. So it's probably only going to be 1 or maybe 2 shows on Disney Plus that year because there's so much Star Wars content coming out in 2026. So yeah, it'll look like the streaming numbers are going way down, but that's because there'll be less shows and more movies. Yeah. Mike, that's funny. Disney's garbage? No, that's funny. Jordan says, someone hit that join button and request the deepest welcome to the people who love Star Wars messages now. Make this the best stream ever. I will do that. If somebody joins as a member, I will do my lowest welcome to the people who love Star Wars as well. Yeah. Yeah. According to the rumors, it's a break not to refocus, but to focus mainly on movies. I don't see that happening. They took this break from the movie theaters to focus on streaming. They're not just going to up and take out all the stuff that they established in streaming and now move back to movies. That's just dumb. That's absolutely dumb. Yeah. Wait, just scroll down to the bottom. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Where was I? Where was that? Damn it. Oh my God. No. Oh, wait. This. I want to read your chat. Where'd it go? Damn it. Jedi Master Kinlan, maybe, says more Yoda if done correctly. Season 2 of The Acolyte will probably feature Yoda. I don't know how much Yoda, but it will probably feature Yoda. Yeah. What we need is a Cortosis mine? What do you mean? Maybe. Yes. Probably. Maybe. Saber Smith says, I just want everybody to be realistic about this. Iger is counting coins. Oh yeah, absolutely. But I don't think they're going to be pulling their great fan base that they already have on Disney Plus. The Mandalorian is what revitalized many Star Wars fans' love for Star Wars. Absolutely. So why would they take that and just throw it away? So many people love the shows that are on Disney Plus. The Andor fans, never seen a more loving fandom over one show. It's insane. But they absolutely love that show. And I love that show. Not like that crazy, but I do love that show. And I can't wait for season 2. But they're Disney Plus fans. These shows fans. They're not going to just get rid of that just fully. you know? Yeah, now. Amanda says, I'd read Acolyte books. Books give more insight anyway. Also loved the Shakespeare version of the sequel trilogy. The what to the who now? I'm pretty sure William Shakespeare has been dead for a long time. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but William Shakespeare is dead, right? How do you make his own version of the sequel trilogy? I don't know what that's referring to, but yes, I'm looking forward to these Acolyte books quite a bit because it's going to expand these characters' stories while also giving us a lot more information about what's to come in a possible second season. Yeah. Need more Maul fights? What? Like Darth Maul fights? What are you talking about? Pretty sure Maul is dead. But you could do some stuff before him, you know? Yeah. We want to go forward, not backwards. No remakes, please. I agree with that. That's kind of where I'm at, too. The Clone Wars live action stuff sounds cool. But, I mean, let's go tell new stories somewhere else. Rather than just redoing what you want. Rumor is the next animation show is Tales of the Rebellion. I could see them doing Tales of the Rebellion. I could see them doing more Tales of the Jedi. I could see them doing Tales of the Sith, blah, blah, blah. I want them to do a full-on animated show, multiple seasons, 4 or 5 or 6 seasons of either Luke Skywalker's Jedi Temple, maybe The Hidden Path with Asajj Ventress, Cal Kestis, whatever you want to do with that, Quinlan Vos, or even a Clone Rebellion show with Commander Cody and Captain Rex and what happens in between Bad Batch and Star Wars Rebels. There's a lot of story to be told still there, especially in animation. You can go the route of The Hidden Path or the clones, or you could go completely somewhere else, like Luke Skywalker's Jedi Temple. But I definitely think we need a new animated show, for sure. Oh, Jacob in the house. What's up, Jacob? How we doing?
Hello there.
By the way, with over 160 votes on this poll, that's a lot of votes. About 70% of you guys, 69%, nice. 69% of you guys say yes, you do want a second season of this Acolyte show. That's pretty good. Ben, what's up? Groshi, what's up? Says, would rather see an adaptation of Shadows of the Sith or Light of the Jedi in animation if we were going to adapt stuff. Yeah. And doing Shadow of the Sith or even Light of the Jedi is going to do a book into animation. So that's sort of retelling a story in a different way. You're retelling the same story if you're just doing animation to live action. You've already seen the Clone Wars. Now you're just going to see it in live action. Sounds a little bit dumb, if you ask me. I'm surprised the good guys won in the Clone Wars with Grievous and Dooku being a powerhouse. Wait, you think the good guys won the Clone Wars? Wait. You understand the end of the Clone Wars is
Execute Order 66.
I don't think they won. Pretty sure they all died. Maybe I watched the wrong thing, though. Maybe I got a different version than you. The Saber Smith says, there won't be a break in for animation, though. They will be doing more Tales. You can just wait for the announcement. Yeah, they'll definitely do more Tales, but I'm talking about a full-on, multiple-season show of animation. Yeah. Yeah. Fearless says, not a rehash of the Clone Wars, but I still want to know what happened to Commander Cody, maybe in a mini-series. Yeah, I definitely want to see what happened to Cody. There's more stuff going on with Rex, too, before he ends up off with why do I always forget these two? Whoever he's with in Rebels. Damn it. But you know what I'm talking about. The two people he's with Gregor and Wolf. Thank you, Kid Fisto. Damn it. Gregor and Wolf. There's a story between the end of the Bad Batch and Rebels that needs to be told still. Absolutely. Mike, I would love a season 2 of The Acolyte. For me, it seems pretty much... For me, I see pretty much always the good side of Star Wars than the bad. Okay, I get that. And that's a good way to look at it. Obviously, there is some bad, so to speak, when it comes to Star Wars. But even the bad is not that bad. That's what I think is sort of the disconnect with Star Wars for a lot of people. Darth Thor says, Review Bomb was so bad that not only did it have a 13% before it even aired, but anything with the Acolyte in its name got bombed as well. Oh, yeah. This was a channel that wasn't like... This channel's not that big. We'll put it that way. Yes, we're at 68,000 subscribers, which is fantastic. I cannot thank you guys enough, but it still feels like a small, closed community. Or not closed, but you know what I mean. It feels like a close community, I should say. I feel like I know a lot of you guys fairly personally, not some more than others. A lot of you guys in the Discord I know a lot more. And it just doesn't feel like we have like that large of a reach. We'll put it that way. But I knew the Acolyte was going to be trouble as soon as this channel started to get so much hate. So much hate when it came to the Acolyte show. My coverage of it, my breakdowns of it, so much hate in the comment sections, all that stuff. And I was prepared for it. I knew it was coming eventually, being the positive guy that I am. I knew the hate was coming eventually, but it came in this massive tsunami called the Acolyte. And it was something crazy. And that's how I knew from the jump that this Acolyte show was going to be a problem, at least a problem in the Star Wars fandom, is just the discourse before it even released. And it wasn't just the audience score, like you said. It was just everything that was coming. Yeah. Yeah. So the Acolyte is getting prequel novels? Yes. 2 of them. One that covers Vernestra and Indara, and maybe even Soul, and maybe even qimir, who knows. And then one that and that's 20 years before the Acolyte. And then one that covers Jekki and Yord in the years leading up to the Acolyte. Indeed. Indeed. Jordan says, do you think Plagueis created May and Osha, or do you think that they were the inspiration for his obsession with the midichlorian manipulation? I think it's probably the latter. I don't think... Actually, no. I'm going to say I 100% don't think that Osha and May were created by Darth Plagueis. No, I don't think he had anything to do with it. However, I think Mother Anisea was a lot more powerful than many people believe. Yes, her power was shown in episode 7 where she's getting inside of Torben's head and also still talking to the other Jedi, and that was crazy. But she created these girls. Yes, with the help of the virgins. Yes, with the help of witch magic and the Force. But she was still powerful enough to create a being, 2 beings from the same consciousness, and create them using the Force. But to go to your second half of that, I do think that the creation of Osha and May is what's going to lead Plagueis down sort of that rabbit hole of things can be created using the Force, manipulating the midichlorians, as we know he does in Legends. So maybe this is just the catalyst for that. Now that Osha is the apprentice of his apprentice, he might learn from her. Yeah. John says, you all are awesome. Thank you. No, John, thank you. Kit Fisto, what's up? What is up? Chris says, was Yord's Tassie was Yord's Padawan? It was a good character. It was cool to see a live action version of the damn it, I just mentioned it earlier. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Yord's Padawan. It was cool to see that, but we only got it for like 2 seconds. Hope the prequel is far enough to recast Vernestra. Well, they don't have to. It's a novel. You know? Yeah, no. Allie Howard, what's up? TR said, oh, I just read that. Can only Jedi Masters get Padawans with some exceptions? Oh, there's definitely some exceptions. Anakin Skywalker being one of them. But I would say for the most part, yes. Jedi Masters are the only ones who can get Padawans. Because you got to be a master to be able to teach. obviously Anakin is an exception. How to fix the Acolyte? It doesn't need fixing. Robert says, Sol goes from someone who wasn't fit to have a Padawan per Indara, then getting Osha, and then she leaves the Order, and Sol gets Jekki to train. It'd be interesting to see how that all transpired. Yes, but we don't know how long he had Jekki for. There's a 10-year gap between, or 6-year gap, sorry, between Osha leaving the Jedi Order and where the Acolyte takes place. So what happened in those 6 years, there's probably a lot more story there. Darth Kilius says, does this mean we are getting a second season of The Acolyte? I mean, it doesn't directly confirm that we are getting a second season of The Acolyte, but it does confirm that they are so confident in these stories and these characters that they are willing to do more stories about them. And they're establishing more stories about these characters for a possible second season. Yeah. Indeed. Holy crap, I'm so far behind on the chat. Brandon says, do you think Skeleton Crew will have a panel at San Diego Comic-Con? Aside from Outlaws? No. I don't think so. It doesn't seem like it, at least. They haven't really focused on it at all. Yeah. I want season 2. Me too. Will Yord return? I'm gonna say no. Will Yord return? Pretty sure his neck got snapped. And I'm gonna say no. Somehow Yord returned? Yeah. Dead Red says, how to fix the Acolyte 1. How to fix the Acolyte 1. Write a short comic series writing May and Osha out of the show. 2. Set season 2 of the show to tell a story between Vernestra and Qimir. I don't understand. Why would you take the 2 main characters of the show and write them out of it? That makes no sense. Yeah, no? Yeah. Oh, wait, there's more to this. 3, include a scene with Plagueis in his lab doing experiments on Venomous, which I'm assuming you're going to make Qimir. 4, show what happens and happened to Plagueis' master, Tenebris. 5, Qimir must die for the story to move forward. Okay, so not only are you going to get rid of the twins, you're also going to kill off the best character. And then just keep going on the story with just nobody? Sounds great. Fearless says, I want more High Republic shows and movies because what I've seen from the Jedi games and now the Acolyte, I really like it and I want more. Yes, Jedi Survivor gave us a very small look at the High Republic. It gave us a character of Dragon, whatever his name was, who came in and became the villain in that game. The Acolyte obviously gives us a little bit of a look into the High Republic too, but it's at the end of the High Republic. I want to go back to the main actual High Republic story and get to see a live action or maybe even an animated show there. Yeah. I'm enjoying the Hot D show. House of the Dragon I have not started yet. I must admit I haven't even watched season 1. I'm just going to wait till season 2 is over, which I think it actually might already be, and then I'm just going to binge both seasons. But yeah, I am far behind, needless to say, on that. Commander Fox says, what's up, man? Love the content. I appreciate that, Commander Fox. I really, really do. Darth Drafter says, sorry for not making a longer message. I'm working out, just enjoying the stream. Well, that's, I guess, okay. And I apologize for yelling at you then. Keep the grind. Funny. Okay, where was I? Could we get news of Skeleton Crew at San Diego Comic-Con? Probably not. Probably not. No. Oh my god, just going down to the bottom again. Are you kidding me? Okay. Oh, wait, what? Now I can't scroll all the way back up? Oh, that's so stupid. What happens if I refresh it? Oh, that made it worse. Okay. Everybody remain calm. Okay, let's talk about this. Shall we? This is what we're talking about when we talk about the problems in the Star Wars fandom. The Acolyte creates a major prequels plot hole for Anakin Skywalker. Now let's read what that plot hole may be. Shall we? The Acolyte Season 1 finale showed us a lightsaber changing color while in use, as Osha learns the truth of Master Soul's betrayal. She begins giving into the dark side, eventually taking out her old master with a Vader-style force choke. This is enough to change her lightsaber from blue to red, which looks cool on screen, but introduces a prequel plot hole. If giving into the dark side can change a lightsaber to red, then why didn't Anakin Skywalker's blade ever change color when he was slaughtering younglings and generally committing Jedi genocide? I think we're smart enough to stop the article there, are we not? Let's just get to the good point. Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber remained blue. Of course. And then they actually go on to say that the Acolyte ended very well. Chat, can we answer this? Can we already debunk this before we even just do this? Do we even have to read the rest of this? Do we even have to waste our time? I'm actually going to close it because just fuck that. She was touching the kyber crystal itself. Thank you, Kid Fisto. That's very great. Let's talk about it. Not only is this one of the coolest scenes of the entire show, but it's also a very cool way to show bleeding a kyber crystal. She bleeds the kyber crystal while choking her former master to death. Absolutely insane. So the reason that her lightsaber changes from blue to green, blue to red, but it was actually Master Soul's lightsaber anyway. The reason that lightsaber changes from blue to red and Anakin's didn't in Revenge of the Sith, even when he's slaughtering younglings and fighting against his former master, it's because Osha is holding on to the kyber crystal. The whole gist of that scene was to show when May threw the lightsaber to the side, she cracked the side, and the kyber crystal was poking out the side, and Osha's actually holding on to that kyber crystal. It's not rocket science, people. Like, I don't know why people do this. Try to just lie to people to maybe make a quick buck. I don't know. To get clicks, it really makes no sense to me. Just tell the truth. Like, why can't the truth be cool? Isn't the truth enough? It was an awesome scene where she bleeds a kyber crystal while choking out her former master, joining the dark side and becoming the Acolyte of the Sith, which is the name of the frickin' show. It was awesome. And yeah, it's perfectly explained right there in front of your stupid faces. I don't know. Just thought I'd mention it. Just thought I'd mention it. Can I get some good cops follow orders in the chat, please? Bum ba. Okay. Let me scroll back up here. All right, I can only scroll up this far, so if I missed your chat, I apologize, and you can send it again, but this is as far as I can get. Okay. Robert says, Lego Star Wars Rebuilt is the last resort? I don't know about that. Dark Sky says, yeah. Here's the thing. To me, the Acolyte could have been decent to me, okay? If they actually showed Osha's anger rather than saying that she had a hard time dealing with it the way it would have been way better. Not just Osha, but a lot of adjustments. Keep the story whatever. Hang on. That didn't really make sense to me. Hang on. So you're saying that they didn't show Osha's turn enough. That's kind of what you're saying? I could see that. I could absolutely see that. 100%. Sure. I think for me at least, episode 6, where they had the full-on training sequence, or at least seduction to the dark side, literally. Takes off his shirt and takes off all of his clothes and goes for a swim. But the qimir and Osha stuff in episode 6 was a lot of seducing her to the dark side, but even that wasn't enough. Her putting on that helmet and seeing her own destiny, thinking it was May, but it was her own. And then finding out that the person who trained her for the last 16 years, the person who saved her life from the fire on Brendok, lied to her this whole time. And, to top it all off, was the one who killed her mother. So yeah, I think that was enough. For me, personally, it was enough. Maybe it wasn't enough for you, but that was definitely enough for me to see her fall to the dark side. Celine says, I did not enjoy the review bomb of The Acolyte. Still, I think it could have been better. Not hating on her, but the main actress's facial expressions, and acting were not it. I could not disagree with you more. I think Amanda Steinberg has not gotten nearly enough credit for the performance that she did pull off in this show. It's the same actress playing both twins. Not that we haven't seen this in cinema before, but the way that I just never got confused between these two characters. I always knew who May was because how good she was at being May, and specifically having a difference between May and Osha's facial expressions, movements, just the way that they were. And actually, if you watch some of the behind-the-scenes stuff, you can hear Amanda go into a lot of that, where she explains how she wore different perfume to smell a different way to get into character and all that stuff. It's pretty cool. But I could not disagree with that more. I thought she was incredible. The acting in this show was just incredible, from almost top to bottom, from Basil to Basil. I'm forgetting somebody. Oh yeah, Basil. No, in all seriousness, from Manny Jacinto as Qimir, which is just should win Oscars, to Li Jiancha, who's Soul. He does an incredible job, but he also learned frickin' English for the show. Amanda Steinberg, who does an incredible job. Carrie-Anne Moss never misses. Who else? Jekki, Daphne Keane, of course. Great. Fantastic. She Loves Fantasy says, "Yup, it was outrageous. I refuse to even consider Rotten Tomatoes rankings." Rotten Tomatoes is always pretty bad, I must say. Even when they give 99s to movies that clearly shouldn't be 99s, or they give horrible scores to movies that shouldn't get horrible scores. But it's more so the audience score that pisses me off with this one, because usually the audience score is the right answer. And this was just a bomb, a literal bombing. Yeah. Yeah. Paul, what's up? Paul says, "This is one of the Star Wars eras that needs to get explored more. The pre-Phantom Menace and post-Revenge of the Sith periods need to be explored, Revenge of the Sith periods needs to be explored for Star Wars to go forward successfully." I agree that this pre-Phantom Menace era needs to be explored, but pre-Phantom Menace is a long period of time. It's over 25,000 years of storytelling that needs to be done. That's not an easy task. You got Old Republic, you got High Republic, you got Dawn of the Jedi, and all of it needs to be established, and all of it needs to be done very well. And you got a long time to do that. But talking about Revenge of the Sith, post-Revenge of the Sith, that time period's kind of closing up very well. You have Kenobi, you have the Bad Batch, you have Rebels, you have Andor, you have Rogue One, you have Solo. I think there's a time period in between Bad Batch and Kenobi that needs to be explored a little bit. There's about a 5 to 10-ish year gap there. But I think beyond Kenobi, it's pretty well kept. I mean, you got 4 seasons of Rebels, 2 seasons of Andor, Rogue One. I think that should be enough. I think it's time to maybe one more animated show in between that Kenobi and Bad Batch era, and then move on from that. Yeah, no? Explore the Force says, "What story can they tell with Jekki? The mission she goes on, her first and her last?" They could definitely give us a lot of Jekki's backstory. I mean, there's not really much to it. I get what you're saying, because we already know that she's dead. But it's more like just giving us more fun stories with her, Yord, Soul. Maybe there's some explanation to what's going down in the Acolyte and some connections, but that one's specifically stated to be a young adult novel, so I'm pretty sure that the Vernestra one's probably going to be the more important of the two. Yeah. Dark Sky says, "What is Plagueis missing to create? He's been at it for some time." Well, we don't really know where Plagueis is at currently. This is the first time we are ever seeing Darth Plagueis in canon. So all the story that we know about Plagueis is from Legends, and we don't know how much of that is going to continue to be true as we move forward with this character. A lot of it could change quite drastically. We don't know how obsessed he's going to be with manipulating the Force, manipulating midichlorians. Maybe that's something that comes along as he learns about it from Osha and the witches. Maybe it's something that he hasn't really thought about much at this point. He's got a whole other 90 some odd years before the Phantom Menace, before he dies to Palpatine. Yeah. He's got time. They're spending money on 2 prequels. Insane. I mean, it probably doesn't cost much money to write a novel. Obviously, you have to pay the writers and stuff, but hopefully it's. I mean, yeah, why not? I think it's good money well spent. Robert says, Acolyte was a hot topic on YouTube 4 months ago. Let's see. Today's still July. So July, June, May. You're talking April? Yeah, I mean, I guess it was. What do you mean? Well, end of March. When did the first trailer drop? End of March? Something like that? Yord doesn't seem much like a master to me. I thought he was just a Jedi Knight. At the beginning of episode 1, doesn't he say that he just got ranked, promoted to master? Or was it promoted to knight? Not too sure. He was a knight? Huh, interesting. The more you know. The more you know. Celine says, I've rewatched episode 3 and episode 7, and I have to say, the young twin actresses playing young versions of the twins were so much better conveying emotions in their voices and eyes and facial expressions. Celine, it's very funny that you mentioned that, because the amount of crap I've seen online about those twins and their performances is horrible. Like, yes, you want a kid actor to be like the best that they can be. And I thought they did a very good job. I agree with you, Celine. I think they did a really good job. But the amount of crap that they're getting is insane. It's absolutely insane. Maybe it's because of the hatred for the show already, but it was wild. I mean, yes, young Anakin, Jake Lloyd got a lot of hate. Even young Leia got a lot of hate with the Kenobi show. But I mean, they're kid actors, people. Come on. I thought you were only granted the rank of master if your apprentice passes the trials. No, I'm pretty sure you got to pass the trials to become a master. Dooku got cut in half. His head got cut off. You're talking about Maul? Maul got cut in half. Got to run to switch to the Hot D pre-episode 7 show. I don't even know what that means. Pre-episode 7 show? Doesn't the episode come out tomorrow? But I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Chris says, Mike said there are expectations, Anakin being one of them. Oh, exceptions, sorry. Anakin being one of them, Obi-Wan being another. He was promoted to Jedi Knight to take Anakin as his Padawan after Qui-Gon died. Indeed, that is true. That is true. Okay, let's switch gears a little bit here and talk about this strike going on and how it affects what's coming. Because Star Wars Outlaws is in less than a month, or in a month, about a month, almost exactly a month. Star Wars Outlaws is in a month. Tell me in the chat, are you going to be picking up Star Wars Outlaws? Let me actually end this poll for a second. I want to start up a new one. I want to start a new one. And by the way, 68% of you, the math is not mathing, but almost 200 votes, 68% of you do want an Acolyte Season 2. Okay. Let's put up a poll. Are you going to play Star Wars Outlaws? Yes or no? Let's see. Let's see. Are you going to be picking up Star Wars Outlaws and playing it? And or would you like to win a giveaway and play it? Let's see. Wow. Okay. That is a lot of no's. Actually, it's, oh, wait. It's about 50-50 right now. Oh, it's going back up. Okay. We're about 50. Oh, 50-50. Oh, whoa. 50-50 exactly as of right now. 50-50 exactly, people saying yes and no to playing Star Wars Outlaws. This is kind of what I expected. I know there's not a lot of gamers in this chat anyway, but there's also a lot of backlash for Star Wars Outlaws as well. EA is better. Interesting. Robert, that's actually very interesting. I've seen a lot of Ubisoft hate. I've seen a lot of EA hate, but EA is better. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, but here's the deal with this strike, okay? Let's talk about this strike and how it affects Star Wars games and how it affects everything. Let's do this. Shall we? Shall we? Shall we? I think we shall. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Boom. There we go. Okay. SAG-AFTRA strike against video game companies and what it means for Star Wars games. Perfect. Let's read it. The Screen Actors Guild American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, also known as SAG-AFTRA, will be on strike starting on Friday, July 26th. That was yesterday. Against 10 of the biggest developers and publishers in the video game industry, one of which is very familiar to Star Wars fans, and that is actually EA. But let's read this. The video game companies have been given plenty of warnings as the negotiations went for over a year. The strikes have officially gone ahead as negotiations run on over the use of AI. And this was sort of the statement that was given. Although agreements have been reached on many issues important to the SAG-AFTRA members, the employers refer to plainly affirm in clear and enforceable language that they will protect all performers covered by the contract in their AI language. It's just pretty much saying AI stuff is a problem and we need reassurances for our actors. Any game looking to employ SAG-AFTRA talent to perform covered work must sign on to the new tiered budget independent interactive media agreement. Let's see what this is. TBIIMA, also known as TBIMA. Yep. Okay. Okay. The Interim Interactive Media Agreement, also known as the TBIMA, or okay, this is too much. These agreements offer critical AI protections for members. So pretty much the deal is AI bad. We need actors to be protected from AI infringements and AI things. So the top 10 on this list are Activision, which is probably most known for Call of Duties and what else does Activision do? Whatever. Blind Light, which I don't even know. Disney Character Voices, which is interesting. Electronic Art Production. This is EA. They put Electronic Arts, which is what EA stands for. So this is the big one because that's what Jedi Survivor's created on, but we'll get to that. Epic Games, which is Fortnite and Rocket League and all that other stuff. Formosa Interactive LLC. Insomniac Games, I forget what they do. Oh, they do the Spider-Man games, right? Take-Two Productions, VoiceWork Productions, and WB Games, which I'm guessing is Warner Brothers, but I could be wrong. So EA is the big one because that's the company that creates the Jedi games. So this could be very bad for Jedi 3. So let's read this. Let's just get to this. Yeah, let's read this. Okay. There are some of the biggest companies in the industry, but Star Wars fans may specifically recognize EA, which owns Respawn Entertainment, the company that made Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. Should any Star Wars games be shooting at the moment, development would be disrupted them for the duration of the strike. No actor would be available to record performances. So currently we think, as far as we are aware, that Jedi 3, the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, is currently in the works. So all the actors, that means Cameron Monaghan, who plays Cal Kestis, all these actors have to stop. It's just like the strikes last year. All production has to stop. And these games are going to get postponed because of it. And that's a big deal. Where was I? Oh, yeah. This might include the third game of the Jedi series, starring Cameron Monaghan, who revealed a few weeks ago that work has begun on that game, even as it lost its creative director, Stig Asmussen. Sure. In the real-time strategy game, also coming from Respawn and EA, we have reached out to EA for further comment on this, and they didn't say it, I guess. Oh, they did say this. Okay. We'll read that in a second. Anyone looking forward to next year's Star Wars Outlaws video game, this year's Star Wars Outlaws video game, can breathe a sigh of relief. It would appear that no one will be striking against Ubisoft. Okay, interesting. So they'll be perfectly fine, and this was before the panel at San Diego Comic-Con. So this shouldn't be affecting Star Wars Outlaws at all. Maybe in advertisement wise, like maybe some of the actors won't be advertising to be with the strike, maybe. But this game is fully done. Like, it doesn't affect this game at all. So Star Wars Outlaws should be good to go. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, on the other hand, or Jedi 3, I should say, and maybe even Star Wars Eclipse, maybe even the KOTOR remake, might all be in jeopardy, as these strikes could postpone a lot of it, as these actors aren't going to be working as long as the strikes last. So it depends on fully how long these strikes last, but it could be a while. Especially how last year's strikes went, 5 months. The actors and writers were on strike for 5 months. And that caused a lot of setbacks. That's why the Skeleton Crew show is now coming out this November or December and not last November or December. This could be a big issue. Absolutely. It's wild. So, with that being said, 1, are you excited for Jedi 3 with Cal Kestis? 2, are you going to be picking up Star Wars Outlaws? And 3, I guess just 3, the number, you know? Okay, where was I? I will not be getting Star Wars Outlaws, says Dark Sky. Yes, nice, Galaxy Love. EA's better. Not a gaming fan, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, so a lot of people are talking about the price. The price of the game is $70, $69.99 at the lowest tier. You can get like the Gold Edition for $110. You can get the Ultimate Edition for $130. It's crazy. That's insane. That is insane. Now, obviously, this is a game that doesn't have online, it doesn't have a multiplayer, it doesn't have a battle pass, so it doesn't have the abilities to make money in other ways, so it has to be an expensive game at the jump, just like a Call of Duty or I guess Call of Duty does have that now, but just like a GTA or any sort of campaign game or single-player game. It does have to make money, but that's a lot of money. And that might actually turn a lot of people off from getting this game, which is not good. Yeah. Yeah. As long as it's not another Uncharted copy, all the climbing and stuff in the last one, blah, really? I thought Jedi Survivor was one of the best games I've ever played. I am not a fan of single-player games. I'm not at all. However, like every game I play is multiplayer. It's Rocket League, it's Apex Legends, it's X-Defiant, it's Call of Duty, it's whatever. But with the Jedi games, especially Jedi Survivor, I got to play them on stream, and it was so much fun with you guys. A lot less of you guys, but you guys nonetheless. And that was a lot of fun, so that was cool. That was cool. And that's why I'm looking forward quite a bit to Star Wars Outlaws and Jedi 3 as well. I like the climbing and stuff, and there was a lot of story there. I only played Battlefront 2, new and old, Apex Legends, and Dead by Daylight. I have not played Dead by Daylight, but I have heard of it, and I've heard a lot of people really like it. Battlefront 2, maybe we should get some Battlefront 2 going. You guys join the Discord in the description below, and we'll get some Battlefront 2 as a community going sometime soon. Yeah. Yeah. Epic Games is an engine. Well, it's also a video game company. Yeah. The strikes are necessary as technology changes and AI use, etc. No brainer. People just be treated and paid fairly. End of it. It ends it. Yes and no. Obviously, there's negotiations on both sides. One, the companies themselves don't want to spend more money on video games when they can save money with AI. And then the actors themselves need to make money, and AI takes their jobs. So there's both sides of it. And AI needs to have restraints on it, obviously, but it also is a useful tool, and it should be used as a useful tool rather than something that just takes people's jobs. But the video game industry is a very interesting place because AI can do crazy stuff for video games rather than in TVs and shows, or more so than TVs and shows, I should say. No AI is even close to being creative. Yes, that's why it's a tool. You program the AI to do things for you. The AI is not really doing its own things, you know? Yeah, I know. Everything now seems to be a rehash or a reboot. That is a big problem in Hollywood currently. Everything being just a sequel or a reboot of just everything else. Yeah, I mean, it's insane. Look at this year alone. The biggest movies of the year are Dune 2, which is a sequel to Dune 1, which is a remake of Dune from the 80s or 70s, which is a movie version of a book. You look at what else is big this year. Kong versus Godzilla. The 9 trillionth Godzilla movie. What else was big this year? Inside Out 2 just passed. It became the most profitable or most money made on a animated movie of all time. That's a sequel to Inside Out 1. I can't think of any other movies that came out this year. Well, Deadpool. Deadpool's a sequel as well. I can't think of any other movies that came out this year. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. A Quiet Place, which was a prequel. There's not a lot of original ideas out there. That's for damn sure. But there's a difference between rehashing a story or repeating a story or rebooting a story and telling a new good story. Look at Marvel, look at Star Wars, obviously, but even like Inside Out 2 or Dune 2, those are universes. Those are stories that are supposed to continue. And that's not a bad thing. You know? It's not a bad thing. We got world leaders as AI before GTA 6. Yeah. The Joker Part 2 is coming out. I did watch the trailer for that. It looks kind of good. It looks kind of good. What's really throwing me off about it is that it's supposed to be like a musical type deal, and I'm not kind of for that. But the first one was so good that, like, we'll see. We shall see.
This is where the fun begins.
Indeed. Okay, let me end this poll because it's not really going anywhere. 55% of you say yes, you will be getting Star Wars Outlaws. Actually, wow, that's kind of surprising to me. That is kind of surprising to me. Okay, let's go back to the Acolyte for a little bit before we get on out of here. And let's talk about this. Actually, before we do that even, I want to get an update here. Yeah, we are not going to make it, but we did get up over 30 subscribers in this live stream, which is nice. We will probably be hitting 69,000 subscribers overnight tonight, which is fan-freaking-tastic. 69, nice. But let's talk about this. This is an article coming from Screen Rant, and it's actually a pretty interesting idea, and I want to know what you guys think about this. There's a line from the Acolyte that could have possibly set up the perfect villain for the next Rey movie. Okay? Let's talk about this. Because the Rey movie has a lot riding on it. Let's preface that first, okay? The Rey movie. We know that the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, what that's kind of going to be. It's going to be the Mandalorian and Grogu. Oh, Planet of the Apes, that's another sequel too. Not the Planet of the Apes. The Mandalorian and Grogu movie is going to be what it is. It's a Mando movie. It's going to be a continuation of the Mando story. Hopefully it's really, really good. And hopefully it's the beginning to a new trilogy. The Rey movie is going to be probably similar to the Acolyte, where before it even releases, it's going to get a lot of hate, as the sequel trilogy is very divisive, to say the least. And a lot of fans are already coming in with their sort of already established hatred for this character of Rey, and they're not going to come in with an open mind. So this Rey movie needs to get a lot of things right. 1, a new established Jedi Order. 2, Finn as a Jedi. 3, a good bad guy. And that might be the most important thing. A good villain in this Rey movie is more important than anything, as you're coming off of the backs of Palpatine. Palpatine has been the villain for 9 movies, 3 trilogies. And you have to top that. Now, it's not going to be an easy task, but it's going to be a task nonetheless. And this Rey movie needs to do this. So let's read this. This is the possible setup for a new villain that the Acolyte could have set up for the Rey movie. Let's read this. The Acolyte could have teased an antagonist for the Rey New Jedi Order movie thanks to this one line that seems inconsequential. Easy for me to say. Rey's New Jedi Order Star Wars movie is singular in the way that it takes place beyond the Skywalker saga. It's set 15 years after the events of The Rise of Skywalker. The film will not only have to find a villain for Rey to fight that that are removed from the Sith, but move the franchise further into the timeline than anything has previously explored. Giving the placement of the timeline of the upcoming Star Wars movie connects to other elements of the franchise are not expected to be included beyond links to the sequel trilogy. So nothing's going to really tie back to the originals or even the prequels for that matter. Connections to other elements, oh wait, I just read that. As such, it may come to a surprise that the High Republic, the era before the prequel trilogy, will tie to Rey's movie. However, this could prove to be the case, thanks to the Acolyte in this one line that may establish the perfect villain for Rey to face off against in the upcoming movie. Can anybody guess what that might be? Can anyone guess? Anybody? Who do you want to be the villain for the Rey movie? Let's put it that way. Well, first guess what this article is going to say based off of the Acolyte, and then who would you like to be the villain of the Rey movie? For me, it's Abeloth, but we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. John Boyega also said he wouldn't do it on TV. Or said he wouldn't do TV. That's true. But John Boyega is definitely coming back for this movie. There's no way they won't go get him. There's no way. Darth Thor says a brand new character or characters. Interesting. Darth Evil Straight White Man. Oh my god. Abeloth. Okay. Interesting. Abeloth. I like it. Abeloth. I like it. A new Sith. Okay. Okay. Dark Rey. I want it to be Darth Rey. Badly. Oh, a little Dark Rey? Maybe. Like her daughter, you're saying? Abeloth would be my choice for a villain. I agree. I want it to be Abeloth, but that's not what this article says at all. Let's keep reading. The Acolyte reveals that Ki-Adi-Mundi will be the villain of the Rey movie. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Imagine. Okay. The Acolyte reveals that there may have been a splinter group of Jedi. The Acolyte Episode 4, members of the Jedi Council are convened to discuss the issues involving the murder of 3 Jedi. While discussing who could have trained this person, one of the Jedi pondered whether this could be the works of a splinter order. This implies that there have been splinter orders in the past, equally implying that there could easily be a rise of a splinter order again. Okay, let's read this. It would stand to reason that some thought it best to split from the order and begin teaching students how they thought the Force should work. In the real world, splinter groups are used to describe practices that once belonged to a larger whole, but split off and began working independently. Within Star Wars, it makes perfect sense that the Jedi Order would have suffered from this. The Jedi Order is certainly no stranger to controversy, nor people who disagree with their methods. It would stand to reason that over the millennia that the Jedi have been active, without the Sith being there, some thought it would be best to split from the Order and begin teaching students how they thought that the Force would work and what the Jedi stand for. This makes perfect sense. There should be multiple Jedi Orders out across the galaxy of people who view the Force in different ways than what the Jedi Order viewed it. The Jedi Order is very strict. No emotions, no relationships, no feeling, like none of that. There might be a splinter order out there that believes in different versions of that. You can tap into your emotions, but not in a dark way. And that's kind of what Luke Skywalker tried to establish unsuccessfully. And that might be what Rey tries to establish too, but there might already be one there. So will Rey have to contend with a rival Jedi Order? Now this is where things get pretty interesting. Now that the Acolyte has confirmed that splinter groups of Jedi have been around before, Rey's new Jedi Order movie could see her having to contend with another group of Jedi. By the time of the sequels, the Jedi have been extinct since the prequel trilogy, over about 60 years. While Luke tried to reestablish the Order, he failed, leaving Rey to be one of the few Jedi trained in the ways of the old Order. That said, even without an established Jedi Order, Force users will still prevalent throughout the galaxy in the sequel era, as we see with Broom Boy. Therefore, it would make sense for a Force user across the galaxy to band together and form their own Jedi Order, only without knowledge from people who were previously a part of the Jedi at their peak. This would not only offer up a group of rivals for Rey's order to face, but also an incredibly interesting philosophical conversation via the destructions of the Jedi and the Force, and how teaching of both are interpreted by different people. It remains to be seen whether this will become a reality, but the Acolyte gives more credence to such villains appearing in Rey's new Jedi Order. Whatever. So let's talk about this. This is very possible. Now, I'm not talking about a group of Sith Lords being a splinter order. I'm talking about just a rivaling Jedi Order. And think about this. Rey is so detached from characters that we know in the Star Wars galaxy that should be alive at this time. We don't know if they survived the events of The Mandalorian, but think about it this way. You have Grogu, you have Ahsoka Tano, you have Ezra Bridger, you have Cal Kestis, you have Sabine Wren, and right there I just named you 5 Force users, and I didn't even have to use my brain at all. And those are 5 Force users who are definitely young enough to still be alive after the events of the sequel trilogy, if they survived the events of this Mandoverse time period. So unless Grand Admiral Thrawn kills them, unless Grand Admiral Thrawn kills all those Force users, then there's a high likely possibility that these Force users gained together to create a splinter order, their own Jedi Order, in some sort of way. At least Ezra, and maybe even Cal Kestis, if he does come into live action in that way, training, and Sabine as well, training Kanan's son, training Jason Syndulla. At least you'll have a master and an apprentice, at the very least. And maybe they start their own order as well, to rival Rey's order. And that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty wild. Skeleton Crew could be setting up a new Force Academy. I like that. I like that quite a bit. I don't know if it will, but it's a good theory. I do like that. I like that. I do like that. And they don't even have to be the enemies or the villains in the story either. These characters could very much just be an opposing view to Rey's Jedi Order. And maybe it's the wrong view, or maybe it's the right view. And maybe Abeloth could still be the villain. Let's talk about Abeloth for a second, shall we? Abeloth is clearly being set up in Ahsoka Season 1. I think she will be set up even more in Ahsoka Season 2. Where do you think she's going to show up? Do you think it will be postponed till after the sequel trilogy and now she's going to be the villain of the Rey movie? Or do you think that Abeloth will be the villain of this Mandoverse? Is it possible that Grand Admiral Thrawn, as the heir to the Empire, is actually not coming in to take over the galaxy? He's coming in to save it? Is it possible that Grand Admiral Thrawn and our heroes, Ezra, Sabine, Hera, Ahsoka, Luke, Leia, Han, Din, Grogu, they all work together to take down Abeloth? Where do you think Abeloth is going to show her face for the first time? Is she actually going to come back to the galaxy during the Mandoverse, or is it going to be in a post-sequel world? What do we think? Actually, let's put this up in a poll, shall we? I don't know how to phrase it, but we're going to do it anyway. No, Thrawn is evil. Interesting. Thrawn in the novels and in Legends, he does all that he does to protect his people. He's not really a bad guy. He's just a bad guy. I wonder if they'll keep that with canon. Where do you want Abeloth to be the main villain? We're going to go with Mando movies or Rey movie. Rey movie. What do we think? Would she be better off being the villain of these Mandoverse possible trilogy? Or is Thrawn the better option for being the heir to the Empire and giving us a canon version of that story? What do we think? What do we think? Why not both? Okay, Robert brings up a pretty interesting point. And I've been working on this theory for quite a while, and I wonder if I'm going to make a video on it. I probably will. Maybe not right now. Maybe when it becomes more relevant. But here's the working theory. In Ahsoka, one of the most sort of throwaway lines that seems so important in my head is when Baylan talks about the void. Do you guys remember that? He talks about when they're jumping from galaxy to galaxy and how dangerous that is because they could get lost in between the galaxies in what's called the void. Okay. Wait, what? Is that real? Joseph, you can? Hang on. Joseph just said, hang on. Joseph, I don't know if this is real or not. I'm not seeing any of this. I got nothing, Joseph, on my end. None of my sources are saying what you say. Okay, back to business here. Back to the Abeloth of this whole thing. Let me get to my theory before I get interrupted again. Let's talk about this. Joseph, where are you getting that from? Okay, whatever. So the void. Let's talk about the void. I think Abeloth is going to be so powerful that they can't stop her. And I think they are going to have to work together, them being Thrawn and the heroes, Mando, Ahsoka, and the others. They're all going to have to band together to fight against the bigger threat, which is Abeloth. And I think the goal is going to be to send her off into the void. And I think that will be successful. She'll get sent off into the void, and she's not going to be dead. They can't kill her. She's way too powerful to be killed. Well, she can be killed, but you know what I'm saying. She'll be too powerful for them to handle. So they'll send her off into the void, and then she finally somehow finds her way out of the void in a post-sequel world. I think that is your best bet. And like Robert said, why not both? Why not have Abeloth be the villain of both the Mandoverse, establish her as this crazy threat, and then bring her back in the Rey movie? The only problem with that is that both of these projects are going to be happening at the same time. So you can't tell the story of Abeloth in the Mandoverse and then also tell it in the Rey movie at the same time, unless they postpone the Rey movie drastically. So I don't know if that will be true, but we'll have to see. Joseph says link in the chat, in the Discord, you're saying? I do not see it in the Discord. You guys can't send links in the chat, so let me see. Let me refresh, but I didn't see anything. Nobody's talking about it, that's for sure. Nope, still nothing. Still got nothing over here. Joseph is claiming that just over 30 minutes ago there was confirmed a second season. I don't see nothing. I don't see it. A link to a link? Okay, where was I? Where was I? Okay, Abeloth will be the villain of the other universe, while Thrawn is the villain of the main universe. Okay, I kind of like that, but what's the point there? Nobody else is really in that other universe currently. Starchip66 says, hello there, sorry I'm late. You know what, Starchip66? Every other day I'd be okay with it. Today of all days, Saturday, July 27, 2024, are you kidding me? No, I'm kidding. What's up? Kidding. Where was I? Oh, the Abeloth thing. What would Abeloth really be ruling over in that other galaxy? She wouldn't be a threat to us. By us, I mean me personally. No, to us, I mean the Star Wars characters in the original galaxy. You know? Yeah, no. Celine says, Ahsoka hints towards the character that represents the Force, the Father, the Son, and Morai. The owl that follows Ahsoka around is somewhat a representation of the daughter. So Abeloth in Ahsoka, maybe? Ahsoka is directly connected to the daughter, absolutely. Anakin uses the daughter to bring Ahsoka back to life. So you could argue that Ahsoka is technically the daughter, the living embodiment of the light side of the Force. Morai follows her around all the time, and she has that connection to the Mortis gods. That's why it does make sense that, yes, Abeloth, who's supposed to be the mother, would be established or brought in the Ahsoka show. Yeah, for sure. Isn't Mando going to be out before Ahsoka Season 2? Probably not, honestly. I think Ahsoka Season 2 will probably come out next year. Hopefully by the end of next year. If not, then maybe it'll be pretty close. I don't know what will come first. What comes first? The Mando or Ahsoka Season 2? What do you think? Shin will be Abeloth. I like that theory quite a bit. I think Shin was cast for a reason because she kind of looks like Abeloth. She's got the blonde hair, creepy look to her face. She doesn't blink much. Yeah. Yeah, no? Yeah, no? Chris says, exactly. He really wasn't completely a pro-Empire guy. He just joined the Empire, talking about Grand Admiral Thrawn, by the way. He just joined the Empire to find the plans for the Empire. Sorry. His main focus was to protect his people. Yeah, it always has been and it always will be. Hopefully that remains the same in this Ahsoka series and in the Mandoverse moving forward. Yeah. Shin baddie and yeah, exactly. Exactly. Rey is all the Jedi, and they're bringing back Kylo to fight Abeloth together with Rey as the Force dyad. I don't know if Kylo's going to come back anymore. Honestly, there was a time where I thought, like, there's no way you do the Rey movie without Kylo, but I think they might. I think they might. Can the hot news type state sources? Or is it like hot sauces? That's pretty funny. It's from the Park Place News, whatever that is. I don't think it's real. It must not be because I don't see anything about it coming from anyone. Literally anybody. I don't see nobody talking about this. Oh, never mind. I thought I saw something, but it says retweet if you think that the Acolyte needs a second season. I thought it said Acolyte just got a second season. Okay. Well, talking about House of the Dragon a little bit, I still haven't watched any of it, but somebody on Twitter right now just says, House of the Dragon episode 7 is the best of the season yet, and one of the best Game of Thrones episodes I'd say ever. Drops tomorrow. Wow. Okay. Makes me kind of want to go watch season 1 and season 2. But nothing still on Acolyte news. Nothing still on that. Okay. He'll be back as a Force Ghost, Mike. LOL. I could honestly see that. I could see Kylo being in the movie as a Force Ghost or in some sort of way like that, but I don't see him actually physically being in there. Yeah. Yeah. Mike says, House of the Dragon, it is very impressive. Even the episodes where they were just building up war, it's fun to watch. Oh, yeah, I haven't watched House of the Dragon, but I watched Game of Thrones, and I am somebody who didn't watch it when it was coming out. I watched it all, kind of binged it, and I binged it all in just a few weeks, because that stuff, like even the slow episodes that are like just establishing characters and just talking for the majority of it, like it's so good. It's so good. And obviously, well, we know what happens at the end of it there. But yeah. All right, I'm going to end this poll. See where this is at. Where you guys want Abeloth to show up next. Yeah, the majority of you are saying the Mando movie. Actually, it's closer than I thought, but yeah, the majority of you do say the Mando movies. And I agree that she should be in the Mando movies. It would be a lot better. But that leaves the big hole, and that is who will be the villain of the Rey movie. And that's going to be a big, big problem. Yeah, or big issue. Sure. Kylo won't be a Force Ghost. Adam said he won't come back. Yeah, but I mean, actors say that all the time. Actors also lie all the time. All the time. Yeah. So, don't really believe what the actors say, because first of all, they can't tell you even if they were coming back, but also they've just, yeah, money. Money talks. Might be a hot take, but I hope Abeloth doesn't come into canon. It's not that hot of a take. I mean, I totally get what you're saying, because she's so powerful, because, like, she's so crazy, but I want to see it. I just want to see it. I want to see how they visually do it, because she's got the creepy smile, she's got the like body that's deformed and like going all over the place. How are they gonna do that in live action? How? I don't know, but I want to see it. I want to see it. Yeah, it's not that hot of a take. I fully understand it, but I want to see it. All right, with that, I am gonna get on out of here. We talked about all the prequel stuff with the novels and all that other stuff. And I got to get on out of here because I got to get going. I really got to pee too. But I appreciate all you guys more than you will ever know. We're about to hit 69,000 subscribers on the channel probably tonight, which is awesome. One, because 69, and two, because we are just keep grinding, and we're 1,000 away from 70, which is insanity. So I appreciate you guys. Tuesday's live stream is the giveaway, so stay tuned for that. If you want to become a member and you got to scrounge up 99 cents, do it by Tuesday. Get instant access to that giveaway. And yeah, road to 100K. Yeah, it is. Because at 100K, if you guys do not know, I will be dumping this entire cup of water filled to the brim on my head live for 100K. And we'll probably do some other fun giveaway stuff for 100K too. But we're almost there. I mean, not really. We're at 70K or 68, but you know, we're getting there. We're getting there. B-Man, what's up? Okay. I appreciate all you guys. See you guys Tuesday for that live stream. Watch out for a video tomorrow, if not by Monday. And yeah. Matt, the radar technician, comes back. I could see that too. All right. I appreciate all you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Smash a freaking like on the stream if you have not yet. Hit subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video in my pretty face. It'll show up in the recommended feed of yours. How many likes do we got on this stream? Am I going to be mad? Am I going to be mad? Oh, okay, that's not bad. 69. Nice. 69. Okay. I appreciate all you guys more than you will ever know. Smash a like on the stream. Blah-bitty, blue-bitty, blah. And may the force be with you. Always. Oh, yeah. What a great stream. What a great show. You guys are the absolute best. Go join the Discord. Go keep the conversation going. Yeah. This was a crazy one, I must say. This is one to remember. I lost it very early on and never kind of got it back. My brain, that is. I hope you have a great rest of your evening, great rest of your lives, and good night, everybody.